everybody. It's Stock Traders Talk Radio Show. We interview the CEOs with stock spotlight picks to keep you in the know. With your hosts, STT, Cop, Hall, Nickel, Stifakia, Murray, Stock Sumo, and the easy on the eyes, also fine cutie cow to keep the guys in line. I'm the Money Badger. So let's get down to brass tacks. Our objective is to make you greenbacks, aka stacks of cash, and to turn your portfolio green with our DD and research team. So without further ado, STT Radio. Let's go.
Good evening, stock traders, and welcome to Stock Traders Talk Radio here on a beautiful Monday night, February the 6th, 2012. I'm your host, STT. Joining me on tonight's program, I have Hoss.
Hey, Mike. How's it going tonight, bud?
Fantastic, sir. How about yourself?
I'm a little bit sad that the Giants won. I know you're a big fan, and you were cheering for them, but I just hate the Giants, so I'm in a sulky mood today. But I can look forward to a Minnesota Wild game tomorrow night. I think Cop said he was going to watch that one too.
So you'll be all better tomorrow. Is that what you're telling us?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Also joining us on the program tonight, we have Hans.
Hey, Mike, what's up?
How you doing, sir?
Oh, hanging in there, doing good.
That's good to hear. Also on our program tonight is Cop.
What's going on, everybody? How are you?
Fantastic, sir. How about yourself?
Loving it. What could be better?
You're excited about tonight's Stock Spotlight?
Oh, yeah, this stuff is good to go. This is big fun.
Good to go, he says. Good to go. Also, joining us on the program tonight for her Stock Traders Talk debut. We've all been waiting for it for 4 days now. Q-T Cow.
That was so sweet. Hi, Mike. How are you tonight?
I am fantastic. How about yourself?
Doing great. Fantabulous is the word for tonight.
Fabulous. Oh, my God, she talks like me. This is going to be great.
Woo.
Supercalifragilistic.
Love it.
Very good to have you. Okay, now.
I don't know where he's on these guys.
Joining us later in the show, Sifakia, as he told me he will be 15 minutes late. Don't forget the doctors pay 15 minutes accounting. Take care of that, please. Now, tonight, we're going to start the week off with a stock spotlight. Let's bring in the segment. I forget which one's which. Let's do this one.
The Stock Spotlight.
Very nice. Tonight's stock spotlight is ticker symbol A. Gotta love it right there. It's a buy. It's because the A. NTS. That spells ANTS. Starting us off with the spotlight is none other than Mr. Cop. Mr. Cop, get us going here.
Hey, what's going on, people? All right, this one is going to be very robust and a lot of fun. ANTS, basically. First thing we're going to go over is let's talk about share structure. Right now, OTC markets, that's where we always go, OTCmarkets.com, type in ANTS under the stock symbol. You're going to have shares outstanding 132,632,000 as of May 18th, 2011, almost a year ago. Take a note of that. Authorized shares is NA, and currently it's I think it closed at 70 today. All right, so that's the contact information, and this is key for you to know. 1031 Cambridge Square, Suite F, Alpharetta, Georgia 30009. Then you have the website, which is www.ants.com. It's dead. Phone number 256-914-5200. All right? So that's the key information I want you to know. So a place in Georgia, we got a phone number, and we got a dead website. However, if you dig real deep, and you can find www.ants.com/ants.com will get you to the website that they actually have. Has not been updated since 2010. However, it gives you a lot of information. It gives you the whole migration to DB2 services, IBM alliances, resources, news, and company. Now, they do a lot of things when it comes to computers and that type of stuff. So let me just touch on that so you guys understand. The mission of ANTS software is to help the customers drive down IT operating costs by consolidating hardware and software infrastructure and eliminating cost efficiencies. To this end, ANTS develops and sells the ANTS Compatible Server, ACS, an innovative middleware solution that accelerates database consolidation between database vendors, enabling application portability. All right, bottom line, a whole bunch of computer stuff, which is, way beyond the scope that I want to do for this, because this is some very deep stuff. But the one thing you got to know is the ANTS database migration software is embedded into an IBM product suite. All right, so ANTS OEM, in the iBox, you'll see a lot of good stuff about how all that works. There's videos. We threw up some things all over the place. Now, it's all about the money, right? So let's talk about the money. As you guys know, I use DD Amanda to the nth degree. I think it's like the greatest thing next to sliced bread. If you haven't gotten it, I don't know what to tell you. Talk to Hans, but you'll be able to figure it out. Well, needless to say, I use DD Amanda to figure out a whole bunch of things, as well as whatever experience I have in this stuff, which probably isn't much, but it is what it is. I did a post on February 4th, which was Saturday. So here, let me just drop this here for you guys. All right, I did this post, and basically what this post is all about is originally I played the stock from the beginning on a Momo, right? I didn't care what they did. I didn't care if it was, somebody selling sand in the Sahara or ice cubes in Alaska. It didn't matter to me. I was going for the movement of the money. That was all it was. So what I did is I gave you the cycle and historics. Money talks and money wants to make money. So basically, I went through the whole thing of what happened. Back in January 13th, 17th, 18th, and 19th, there were 4 consecutive trading days while she was at the bottom. You could tell it was getting loaded to the tune of 400 grand. Huge volume, about 85 million shares, with every low of the day being 0.0040 and below. That's a big deal, right? There are a couple pops in there, the 65, 70 area, and then there's a pause in action in time, right? Little flippers going crazy all over the place. Then February hits, right? And, the players that are moving the stock, it's basically, they take control. So they're loading more and they're pushing it. The key point to this is on February 1st, 4 million shares are traded in a range of 33 to 39 to the tune of 16 grand. On February 2nd, 13 million shares were traded, range 34 to 61, which was 63 grand, and it was up 67%. Big pop. On February 3rd, we saw the Momo. All indicators call to push. 27.8 million shares are traded. Range 50 to 0.012 on a Friday. 236 grand. Drives her home with an 82% gain. Okay, now what does all this mean? It means the prior pop flipped a great deal of shares, right? And who wouldn't? That's pretty good gains that you had there. But at the same time, ass slaps are happening, driving the Momo, and then, the second, third, fourth tier people start arriving in the stock, so it drives even harder. Only one problem that I saw with it, and this was right around 340, it got a little weaker. It was a bid whack down to the 80 range, and it's a huge point to understand. The Momo for a Friday, was huge, and, no one wants to end bad. Everyone wants to be happy going into the weekend and all other stuff, so they always want their stocks up, so they kind of push a little harder going into the power hour. Now, quick disclaimer, and I actually put this on my post, is I have 0 shares when I wrote this, but I did have shares, and I sold them for a nice gain. The hardest thing to do is to take the Momo drive into the Friday, and have the weekend and get back. And the main reason is people start thinking about it, right? If they're up 40%, 60%, 80%, whatever the case may be, they want to clear their gains. The euphoria is kind of wore off a little bit. So what I was looking for today is I kind of wanted to stalk this stock. I really wanted to prey on this thing because I knew that people were going to be selling. I just didn't know how much they were going to be selling. And I expected it to be dropped down to, somewhere around 0.0053. Now, based off the shares flipped and everything I did with Dee and Amanda, I figured out that it was some place between 15 and 17 million shares that needed to trade for me to find the bottom of that support level that I was looking for. Needless to say, I think there was something like 13 million that traded, but the bulls fought really, really hard today on the stock. Held that 70. I think it only touched 69, maybe 68.0068, maybe once. But it really held really well at that range. So, my calculation was a little off by a couple of million, as well as my price. So entry point, I'm calling, right now, this area is pretty good. Now, think about this. The people that own shares own it higher than the price, right? The people that are holding the shares because they want to drive it higher hold it lower, but they want to drive it higher. So you're not going to get many below the 6.5 area, if any. Depending on how that happens. All right, so that's the key thing I wanted you to understand about that as far as the money. Now, think about the money. What happened today? What did we get today, guys? Anybody know? 13,414,000 traded, closed at 70. Average price was right around 75. Now, you take 7,500, you times that by 13, right? You're talking over 100 grand there. Still money coming in. And it was getting a sideways action after a rough first hour in the morning. All right, so that tells you that the players are still in the game and they want this thing to go. Now, let's get some details. What are the 3 most powerful things in the world? Anybody know?
Most what?
3 most powerful things in the world. All right, well, I'll answer it for you. My kids can answer this because I've been telling them since they were 2. 3 most powerful things in the world are compound interest, Google, and women. In that order. Make no mistake about that, okay? And if anybody tells you anything different on that, they are wrong. I mean, Helen of Troy wasn't a made-up story. There was a reason why people died because of her. But the item we're going to talk about is Google, all right? Now, when this is a very difficult company to DD. You can go all over the place and look for certain things, and there's rabbit holes all over the place, and I think it's on purpose. So I'm going to take you back in time a little bit, and bear with me here on this one. But I'm going to go all the way back to 2008, right? Okay, now why is this important? Okay, 2008, basically, there was an executive letter, The Path to Shareholder Value, by our man Joseph Kozak, right? He was the CEO, ANTS chairman and CEO. Chairman. Okay, I'm kicking the floor there. All right, at that time, the address was 700 Airport Boulevard, Suite 300, Burlingame, California, 94010, right? Then you got the phone number, 877-461-2687, and the fax number, right? Always key items to have. And, they talk about what they're going to do and the great about, all this type of stuff, projected revenue, where they're going to go, all that. Beautiful, right? All right, now we're gonna kind of pole vault a little bit into time, right? So the company does all their stuff, and they're trading and everything else. And when any company does anything, imagine life as this connection. Everything you do, you do something, right? And what I mean by that is, if you are going to open a company, you talk to your friends. If you're going to try to make it a viable business, you get a Facebook account, you get a Twitter account, you get a LinkedIn account, you get all these things. And who is the first person that you friend? A friend, right? That's normally how it works. So when you go to Twitter and all those other type of things. So we're on this website. Now, if you notice, you got Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Now, nothing has been updated since 2010, right? That concerned me. Now, I figured there was 2 options that were happening here. They did a lot of things with the security database and IT. So I figured, okay, either there's something wrong with the company, or they're going to go into some form of security fashion, and they're, on the down low now, whatever that case may be. All right, so where did I start? All right, first thing I did is I got the phone number, right? Took the phone number from OTC Markets, started drilling down to the one in California, which here, let me give you that real quick, because you can do the same thing. All right, it is 650-931-0500. Now, and you call that, you select number one as sales. Okay, the message box was full. Select number two is a company directory. Whole bunch of employees, 55 employees is what it is. So you can basically type in by their name, go from there, and you're able to figure out all kinds of stuff. All right? Okay, number three, tech support, right? That was busy. All right? Number 7 was analysis technology. The message box was full again. Okay? Number 8 was the IR. Message box full. 9, innovative technologies professional services division, full. Now, here's the key I want you to know about this. Every single time you call, they sit there and tell you it's full. They kick you off the phone, so you got to call back. So I had to call back that many times. Actually, it was a huge pain in the ass. Can I say that? I guess I can. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to click on the Facebook, right? You guys everyone got the website there? Or you want me to give that to you? Here. All right, there's the website. Can you guys drop that in there for me? Everyone still here with me?
Yeah.
All right, wonderful. Okay, so basically what I wanted to do is I want to go to the Facebook, right? So I'm going to click on the Facebook. Now, when you DD companies, this is like the advanced course, if you will, right? Because you want to look for filings, you want to look for all those other type of things, and you want to go all over the place. PRs, everything they got. There's mismatches all over the place when it comes to this. The boards actually talk about a lot of that, so I'm going to leave that alone. All right, so basically I go to the Facebook, right, click on it, it's ANTS software, and you go down there, and what I like to do is I like to look at who likes what and what they're looking at. And then I want to know who likes them, all right? Now, normally when a company in the OTC does anything is they have this one, they have a bunch of flaws, but they have one fatal flaw. For some reason, the person promoting their company, they want to follow on Twitter or they want to follow on Facebook. Why they do it, I have no idea, but they all do it. And then on the flip side of that, the promoter is the one, or the awareness professional is the one that likes them back. So you're able to see the whole damn thing and just do this chain. But, back in a couple years ago, they started doing a lot of stuff with this stock. So you're able to see who his friends are and all that other stuff. Now, here's the interesting part, right? You're going down this, you're seeing a whole bunch of friends that he selects, which isn't many, but then you start seeing shareholders just getting pissed. What's going on? The podcast is pretty good. Back in May, everyone's asking, haven't heard from you. Let's hear something from ANTS. Let's hear this. Let's hear this. So all the way to the whole nth degree, that's what you're seeing. Needless to say, no information very much, coming from the company for about 7-8 months. Now, then what I like to do is I like to see what they like, right? And it's not to be intrusive. I just want to know what they're doing. So there's on the left-hand side, you'll see IBM DB. Here, let me give you this. Stay with me here. All right. So on the left-hand side, what you can see, IBM DB2, right? That's all the stuff that they actually do, that they're trying to do with IBM and all that other stuff. And you go in there and you're going to see all these connections, if you will. It's just a web of information. And you're going to see the friend who is Danet. Liz in Alpharetta, Georgia. Now, that's interesting. I think that was what the OTC said, even though the company was in San Francisco. He's a Yankees fan, Mike, just so you know, right? But June 3rd was the last real response that was actually even on Facebook. Now, there's a whole bunch of other friends and all the other stuff. But those of you that know, who's our man? You guys remember Clinton Grayling? You guys know that name? I don't mean to use your name, Clinton, but, you're connected here. Well, that's Charms Investment Limited, which is basically, it's an awareness company. They do all kinds of other stuff. Clinton's pretty good dude. Thing is I want to LinkedIn now, right? So all I'm doing is just clicking the link that's actually there, right? It's right there. And I have a pretty extensive network that I have. Well, for some reason, of course, I go to the chairman, right? Right here, let me give you this. So we're going to find everything out that we want to know. All right, so this is Joe Kozak, San Francisco Bay Area, right? And, of course, somehow I'm connected to him, and I go through and I figure it out that, it's Clinton. And when I check and I want to see everyone that's viewed him and who else they're viewing, and it goes really extensive, takes a little while to do it. Bottom line is, they're connected from a promotion standpoint for a few years back. And the mission of ANTS software is to help customers drive down IT costs, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that gives you that, right? Now, the second tab on this, I hope you guys got it. You got your networks, and then you have your employees. Okay, so I go to the employees. There's 50 employees listed in LinkedIn, right? And it goes through all kinds of stuff, who they are, what they do. Now, the thing about IT companies, most employees who are under contract or doing something don't necessarily go to a building or anything like that. They're building something. It just depends on what it is. Well, I dropped some of these actually on the iHub board earlier. And the reason why I did that is I wanted people to basically see what the ties were and, who you can kind of check on and those type of things. Now, what I did is I did like 6 of them, I believe is what it was. And what you'll see is there's some people that are actually left and some people that are technically still there on LinkedIn. Now, which tells me there's something still going on here. I don't know what it is. I don't know if there's an extensive contract where they have to fulfill their time or whatever the case is, but I know this. The money ball is the fact that the IBM DB2 SSACSA enabled fast, low-cost, low-risk mitigation from Sybase ASE to DB2 because you don't need to rewrite your applications. Whatever the hell that means, Hans, you probably know exactly what that is, but just know that it's an IBM and business partner of ANTS software jointly developed to do some capability with patent pending ANT compatibility server ACS technology. Lots of stuff on there. On the board, there's a whole bunch of videos you can watch if you want to talk about all kinds of stuff. I mean, I'd rather watch and try to figure out how a violin's made from scratch than read this stuff, but you get the point. Now, when you go in there, the ANTS software, right, you can see all these videos that pop up in YouTube and all that other stuff. The video is what everyone looks at. What I want you to look at is I want you to look at who put the video up there. And, of course, it's ANTS software. Click on their name. You see their last activity, right? Going to be at the end of 2010. So you're having all these things that just kind of just stopped in the viral world. LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, all kinds of stuff. Now, on March 17th, 2011, right, which, not less than a year ago, there was an executive letter to A&T software shareholders, right, by Joseph Kozak, chairman and CEO. And basically what he did is, he went through, says, it's been too long since our last in-depth update, and I would like to take the time to share with you recent developments within the company. While we try to post information on our corporate blog, all right? Now, I didn't even know there was a corporate blog up until I started digging into this, so let me get you that. Corporate blog is someplace. I got about 80 links on this, just so bear with me here. All right, Joe Kozak corporate blog. So here, let me give you this. All right, you got that there, Hans? Appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right. So basically the blog, last update was April 25th, 2011, right? Where it goes through, talks about the simple database consolidation, and all the kinds of cool stuff that's going on with the company and everything else. Now, up until this point, if you look at the filings and all of that stuff, there was like there wasn't many customers and not a lot of money coming in, maybe $400,000. It wasn't really a lot. However, they were getting huge amounts of money to actually do some of the stuff that they were actually doing. So it goes through the whole this executive letter goes through the ANTS software stock, has experienced heavy trading, has had some selling pressure as of late. We believe there are multiple causes, and I want to share one such cause you may not be aware of at this time. In 2009, the company initiated an internal program for its employees to acquire common stock. The company's intent was to incorporate the ANTS stock into an existing 401k plan so that the participating employees would need to recognize revenue related to the value of ANTS stock until those employees made withdrawals from their 401k plans. We submitted a plan for approval to the IRS. Unfortunately, the IRS rejected our plan, thereby accelerating the time which our employees have had to recognize the value of their ANTS stock for income tax purposes. The ANTS stock was recently distributed to all current and former employees who participated in the program. And in many cases, employees sold shares to cover their tax exposure. We expect that this selling may have contributed to downward price pressure. We also expect that some new investors may have sold stock after initial investment. We believe the long-term investors in the company should view this current weakness as an opportunity to acquire stock. That's one way. I guess that's one way to say bye. So anyway, goes through and sits there and says, it's been great. Love being your CEO, all that regular cool stuff. But so you're seeing what you're seeing in a lot of areas where you're getting volume, you're seeing some stock. That's what's happening. Then you got the safe harbor and all that regular stuff, and I won't go into that. So read the blog. It is what it is, right? All right, so let me give you the next thing. I'm kind of moving on and bouncing all over the place. By the way, this is like 5 hours being shoved into a little less time than that. I want to bring up to a couple key things where the new executives, right? You guys, there was a PR that was actually put out on January 5th, 2012, where it talked about East Coast Diversified Corporation announces new executives to join EarthSearch and Rogue Paper. Now, right now, if I asked anybody out there who the CEO of this company is, what would the answers be? I don't know. I know this. He used to be the chairman and the CEO, but he stepped down as a chairman not too long ago. So let me give you that information as well, when that happened. Okay, you guys, we use Forbes a lot, right? Forbes is pretty good. So let me give you this Forbes link. And those of you that are listening to the show that aren't on the iHub board, I highly recommend you use iHub. And then I'd be able to give you the link. But anyway, on Forbes, you go to people.forbes.com. You look up Joe Kosak, right? He's the ANTS software. He's the director, president, and chief executive officer of ANTS Software, San Francisco. All right, he's been the officer since 2005. He's 61 years old. It goes through. He joined ANTS in June 2005. As president, was named chief executive officer and appointed to the board of directors in August of 2006, and was appointed chairman of the board of directors in October 2007. He brings 25 years of experience, et cetera, and the key thing what brought all his power and his ability was the fact that he was big. He was big in the Oracle Corporation, where he executed global strategies for retail, distribution, life sciences, process manufacturing, and consumer packaging good industries. And he also managed Oracle's acquisition of Retech, which was $630 million purchase. So this guy knew exactly what he's doing. Then he got some awards and all that stuff. The bottom thing on this, where it says Mr. Kosak held numerous management positions with AT&T and IBM, and on April 17th, 2011, Mr. Joseph Kosak resigned as chairman and registrant of the board of directors. Now, April 17th, which was directly after writing this nice, cool letter of to the shareholders, and find that a little odd. So connect the dots there. Then it goes through. It tells you about the compensation and certain things. Salary $230,000, and then the restricted stock awards, right? $129,000 worth, right? With the total compensation of $610,000, and then it talks about the different grants of where they were in time. You had a big one in 2008, and that's the latest one I'm able to find. I was looking for 9, 10, and 11. I'm sure there's actually something there. but it gives you the top executives at ANTS, Robert Henry Kite, Rich Serwanka, and, Robert Jett, Alton Dinsmore. Now, I gave you most of these guys actually in a LinkedIn post that I actually put on the board, which, you go look up who's still with the company and those type of things. Now, this is where it kind of gets tricky. So, you guys, that's the company from that standpoint. Now, we're going to go to, see here. All right, so that's all of the software, all of that. The LinkedIn, I think we've covered that. Let me go back to the East Coast piece. East Coast Diversified Corporation, ECDC, right, announced the addition of 2 executives. Joseph M. Kozak will join EarthSearch as CEO, and Cheryl Botchick joined Rogue Paper as Vice President General Manager of Client Services. Now, this Cheryl Botchick name seems very odd to me. I've heard this name all over the place, but I haven't actually searched that, and it wasn't from this. So I'm sure there's another company or something else that has happened in the past where that all connects. I have no idea. We'll figure that out. But he comes to EarthSearch with over 30 years of experience, and the date of this was January 5th, 2012. First big thing that's actually happening all over the place, right, recently. Then it talks about his track record. Now, prior to joining ANTS, Mr. Kozak serves as Vice President of Industry of Oracle. He holds a bachelor's degree. Then it goes through that, and his responsibilities, and and then talks about the other type of stuff. So it's just a whole bunch of stuff that goes in there. Read that. Did I give you guys that link? Yeah, it looks like I did. All right. All right. So moving on to the next thing with that. So he steps down as the chairman and takes a new job. All right. That kind of makes sense. The website that's actually on OTC markets and all over the other place, you can't get to. The company, you can't talk to anybody. Now, the trick to this is you friend somebody on LinkedIn, one of the lower employees, and you basically say, hey, what's going on with the company? Hey, will you do anything with it? Figure all that stuff out, right? That's actually how you do that. Now, on Facebook, what I did is I actually SuperTrade and a couple other key people that were associated with this company, I sent messages to them, and I haven't received anything back, and I kind of want the DD that they have. Hopefully in most cases you'll be able to get a whole bunch of stuff, but we'll see how that goes. All right, so now here's the thing I want to talk about. The next thing, Penny Stock Haven, which is pennystockhaven.com. Here, let me give you this next link. It's pretty expensive, guys, so bear with me. Basically, they have a post in here where it says ANTS Software announced today that its first customer is implementing their SQL skin into production. Company highlighted that the customer, a large electric utility, successfully tested ANTS product and then decided to move forward with full production implementations. ANTS expects to complete this project by early 2012. Right, and it talks about COSAC putting that out there, the Alpharetta, Georgia, which is after the San Francisco one. So clearly this happened somewhere around this, right? And then it goes into the mission and all that other type of stuff. Now, this was posted on October 25th, 2011, right? From Stock Market News. So if you go back in the news, you'll be able to see this. So now what do we got? All right, we got idle time. Doing something, then all of a sudden there's somebody big that's actually going to use this, which either tells me that whatever they were trying to create, they created it, or they were searching for customers, whatever the case may be. Now, the other side of the coin to this is, I'm going to give you the next one, is everything's not always so rosy, right? So we're going to go to Board Reader. Okay, now Board Reader is basically you can find out all kinds of stuff about everything you can imagine. And when people do certain things, they kind of just dig and dig and dig. And when a shareholder gets burned, they want to know why. And I'm not saying that's what happened, but basically there's a lot of talk about what's going on with assets. Now their assets are valued big time money, somewhere between 25 and 30 million. I've seen 4 different numbers. I've seen 25, I've seen 26, I've seen 27. Bottom line, a lot of money, right? So, you got people asking what happened with the assets, and then it's talking about all kinds of stuff. And then there's a whole thread there with different people that had some conversations with the company or something, right? And, take it for what it is. Some are bashers, some are concerned, some don't like the CEO, some think there's some positive stuff going on. Who knows? Point being, they're talking about the assets, and you can drill down and get into there. I do not have a definitive answer on the status of the assets, where they are, where they sold, but the bottom line is a huge amount of money involved in that. All right, so I gave you that link. Now, one thing I always like to do is on the message boards, they give you some good stuff when it comes to, the whole conversation from a trader's perspective. So I don't know if any of you guys actually use Raging Bull anymore, but I like Raging Bull for what it is. So let me give you this. Okay, this is basically the Raging Bull. So this one's coming at you next. All right. So you got that, and basically what this is, it's a message board of talking about all kinds of different things, who's going what, and it's like a DD chain, and it tells you, who they've tried to contact, what they've tried to find. So a lot of people out there just very, very, very confused about what's going on. But I know this: Kozak is not the CEO of he's the CEO of the new company, and technically, I guess he's still the CEO of ANTS. But there's some assets happening, and when you sit there and you look at the whole thing that's going on with it, it's very, very difficult. Now, I'm going to kind of shift gears on you about why this play is awesome. All right, lots of speculation going on with what's happening. Huge amount of money in value when it comes to the assets, and I don't know what royalties or what revenue they're actually being created from this IBM piece. Very, very, very difficult to actually do. All right, that's good there. And, so read up on that type of stuff. The DD will take you hours and hours and hours and hours to go. But we're not here for that, okay? That's if you want to be a short-term, long-term, or anything investor from that perspective. I am here to tell you what to do for tomorrow, in my opinion. And basically, that's why, we actually have this show. So, but that's the DD. Do what you will with it. Know that there's huge amount of assets that are actually floating around there that are involved with this company. So what you have is just a ton of stuff. So, read through it, figure it out, and go from there. And I'm ready to tell you whether I want to buy or sell.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You sure you don't want to look into it a little bit more?
What? That wasn't enough?
My head hurts.
I'm asking.
Woo.
Just asking, just to make
Excellent job.
Yeah, that's a lot of stuff.
That was amazing.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Lots and lots of links too.
This is probably one of the harder ones I've done because the guy's not talking.
Yeah.
You can't get a hold of the company. And, I always like finding the person that just left the company on LinkedIn and then start talking to them. Mm-hmm. I do that all the time. It's great.
Okay. All right. Well, then let's start it off with you. Buy, sell, or hold for tomorrow. We're just strictly speaking tomorrow.
Based off the assets, I am definitely a buy. I think that 70 bottom is pretty good, and I think based off the pressure that you were seeing from Friday and Thursday and going into this, you're probably going to see 0.013 on. I think you're going to get a nice gain on this, almost probably about 80%.
Okay. All right, Haas, what are you thinking?
I would have to agree. It's 007 seems like a bottom to me, so I'm gonna go green for tomorrow.
Okay, Hans, your take on ANTS?
I like ANTS. I got an ANTS arm. No, I'm just kidding. I'm looking at the daily chart, and I'm seeing a hell of a channel here for most of the day. And from what Kopp said, I remember reading something how they were looking for new customers, and I think he might have stumbled into something like that, a new big customer. Anyway, I'm a strong buy on this.
Okay. Buy. All right, Siffy, if you're listening, you want to type in, are you a buy, sell, or a hold? she can keep pace with the gang here. And her first pick of the year, QT Cal. What do you say?
Oh my goodness! With all that information, I have to go buy a big B-U-Y. Buy.
B-U-Y for buy. Now I'm gonna just. Okay, Siffy's telling me to take a guess, so I'm assuming he's a sell.
No, he's not a sell. Oh, jeez.
Tomorrow
He's
might
saying
be
buy.
a buy. Oh, tomorrow might be a buy, but it will end red.
Wow. I love Sippy.
Does that mean buy? What the hell does that mean?
No, I think it's a sell because you say it's going to end red.
Now he's saying it's going to go green if you get in nice and early, but it's going to end up red end of the day.
Interesting.
Yep.
Interesting. So, chance to take profit is what Siffy's saying. Then get out towards the end of the day. Well, I'm gonna make a move here because I got to catch up to a couple people. So I'm gonna go and play along with Siffy tomorrow and say so. That's right. I'm gonna go with Siff. Even though he has the worst record out there. What am I thinking? Oh my God.
Yeah, really.
Well, I have to catch up a little bit, so I'll hope for the best, see what happens. All right, that was the stock spotlight of ticker symbol ANTS, ANTS. We're going to take a small commercial break here, and we'll be back after these words.
Stock traders, sound the charge and sail your way over to BlueHorseshoeStocks.com. Nowhere else will you find a simpler, more straightforward penny stock block, bounce plate, momentum alert, short-term, long-term. It's all here. Get hits and ground floor opportunities before the promotion hits. Blue Horseshoe's track record speaks for itself with percentage gains numbering in the thousands. Sign up for our pre-market mailing list and receive picks before they're published. Welcome to Blue Horseshoe Stocks, where you're afforded the opportunity to observe a team of seasoned traders scrape and scour the market for every sub-penny, penny, and penny-plus stock with a chance to blow it pop. BlueHorseshoeStocks.com.
PennyChatterStocks.com, where our network becomes your game. There is no need for 6 or 7 sites to track your penny stock buds. We've got chat, forums, blogs. You can integrate your Twitter, Facebook, Google+, MailChimp emailers all on one site so that your following comes with you. All it comes down to is the network, www.pennychatterstocks.com.
Joining me on tonight's program, we have QT Cal, Hans, Sifikia in the background, Haas, and Cop. Did everybody get back with me?
Yes.
Good to have everybody
Here.
back. Now, I had promised to start giving hints about our CEO interview coming up this Thursday. Hint 1. Towards the end of the week. See if you can guess it. This person, the CEO that we're going to interview, was on a major network television show dating late 80s, early 90s. That's correct. That's hint number one. On a major network TV show, major network, dating late 80s, early 90s, and that's hint one. Work with that, and we'll see what I come up with for tomorrow. Was that a good hint, you think?
That was pretty good.
I don't know what it is, so I don't even know if it was a good hint.
No, it's not Teeny Others. That'd be early 70s, actually.
The D's.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, wait, that would be the 80s. I'm sorry.
Oh, come on.
That's right. Okay, my bad. Nope, but not Teeny Others. So you can cross her off the list.
Okay.
Maybe tomorrow I'll tell you if it's female or a male. Maybe that will help out. Narrow it down to a couple 100,000 people. Okay, since nobody wants to step up tonight and say what we should do next, I'm just going to go with Stocks in Focus because it's easy. Everybody gets a chance to get the mic and talk about stocks they're looking forward to. So, I'm going to start with Hans tonight. Hans, you're up, sir.
What are we doing? What are we talking about?
Stocks in Focus.
I'm going to have to still say JDII.
Wow, always. He loves it.
They had a really good day today. They're up almost 24%. I get the feeling that there's something going to be released here pretty soon. So we know that they have been working on their second and third processors, and could be something along the lines of that. They got a new DEC permit probably going to be approved. So I think some news is leaking out. So, yeah, JBII.
Okay, JBII. Okay, let's give it over to QT Kyle. Let's see how she does on her first Stocks in Focus.
All right, well, I'm going to go with something comfortable that I've been doing a ton of DD on over the last, 8-9 months, and I would have to go with MindPix and Emacs. That is definitely on my radar. All that volume in MindPix on Friday was pretty incredible, and I'm hearing there's a lot of interesting things coming down the pike. So that's going to be my Stock in Focus.
Okay, let's move over to Haas.
Well, this is a company we profiled, I don't know how long ago, about a month ago or so. Ticker GDSM, Gold Coast Mining Corp. Recently on February 2nd, we were kind of waiting on some updates regarding some of their mineral properties and joint venture opportunities. They released something on February 2nd saying that they came to an agreement, a joint venture with Western Sierra Mining for some of the properties that they're currently searching for ore on. So we should see some updates in the near future on that, and there's been some major accumulation around the 0.002 area, especially in the low 0.002s. And if you look at that chart, steady uptrend since we profiled the stock, and I think the accumulation continues and we move higher as we get more updates.
Fantastic. Okay. Top.
The big thing I would talk about is, what we're doing with ATRN. I mean, holy cow, man.
Good one.
And the reason why I got to talk about that one, is we called it at 0.0088. And today it eclipsed 1,000%. And, I like 1,000%. But that's not even the big deal. The big deal is I think it's going to go to 5,000%. And yes, you heard me say that on live TV, so you can come back to me. Live TV, listen to me, live radio. The ATRN, we actually were nailing everything today. I think what else did we hit? CMGO, which is another hot ticker that's actually moving. I think SPA's going to bring it on over the course of the next week or so. I agree with QT on the whole MindPix piece. That's with that amount of volume that's happening there, she'll staircase up.
How about ICPA?
Oh, yeah. Did you see the power?
Another 40 million in volume today around the 0.005 area. Come on.
Yeah.
There's money pouring into this thing right now.
Insane.
Yeah, we've been pretty hot.
We'll take credit for that one. We'll take credit. Or at least I will. I don't know if you guys will.
So that's what I like, though. I want to know who picked between Haas and QT on the Super Bowl. Who'd you pick, QT?
Oh, I picked the Giants. Anybody that's beating the Packers, I'm all for.
Oh my gosh, I hate the Giants so freaking much. It's unbelievable. I was rooting for New England so hard, but the Giants always find a way to disappoint me.
Let me tell you something. The Giants were on a mission. They were 7-7. They got their act together, and look where it took them. They went right to the Super Bowl.
I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, Eli and Peyton just both need to quit and go do Oreo commercials because that's where they belong.
Oh, my goodness. At least it wasn't a discount double choke.
That's all right. I'm happy. Yeah, you're right.
What did you think about?
Go ahead, John.
What did you think about that Eli Manning pass down the to the 50?
Oh man.
Second, cutie.
Yeah.
Oh wait. Yeah, that was wow. I mean, there were so many highlights of that game. The one thing that just stuck out in my head was the Justin Tuck thing. It was like the end of the game, and he's a Notre Dame boy, so that was pretty awesome too. It was a good game. Excellent.
Do you know their names?
Oh, absolutely.
Really?
Don't have their names.
Jim had a couple of great plays. I mean, oh gosh, I'm freezing up right now, but I watched the game thoroughly. It was awesome.
Wow.
It was good. I'm a total sports nut, so this is my thing.
Oh, geez. This kid's getting better and better and better. That's all I can say. Do you like hockey?
If we're talking Blackhawks, yes, I do. They've been choking lately, so.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah.
Like the North Stars?
The North Stars. God, you're such a pile, dude. Everybody who's listening, Cop thinks the Minnesota Wild are still the Minnesota North Stars, so he has some issues with hockey.
QT, did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Are you serious? You're from Chicago. You don't know who the Minnesota Wild are.
No,
You get no love up here in the Midwest. This is unreasonable. I cannot handle this for every long we do this radio show. I quit.
I'm so into basketball right now at the Bulls, like you have no idea.
I like the Bulls. I love the Bulls.
Oh, love it. D Rose is bringing it.
Oh, it's nice.
Super.
Oh, jeez.
That's awesome.
Mike, what are you watching?
I'm sorry?
What are you watching?
What am I watching?
Yeah.
Stocks?
Yeah. Were you watching TV?
I was actually watching TV. I'm sorry. It caught my attention for a second. It was very interesting, so I got a little sidetracked. I'm not watching anything, thank you.
I'm not watching.
I'm in my dormant stage. Dormant.
Oh, man.
I will tell you this much. Siffy's saying TVIX, TVIX.
Yeah, he's been pretty. Him and I were battling on unemployment early in the morning, like around 4 a.m. It was kind of funny. I'm all about the fact that I think the unemployment numbers are jacked. Jacked.
I agree with you, Cop.
It's nuts, isn't it?
Yes. I think there's a lot of factors in those numbers that we need to find out about. There's a lot of information, formulas, things like that really need to. I mean, I was just looking at the census information that was put into some of the formulas for January, and that definitely could skew the numbers. So,
yeah, I like this. I'm a big fan of charts. Like, I watch. When you go to Market Watch or something like that, there's always the best perfect looking possible scenario chart, statistical chart, and then wait until you pull it back and you go, wait a minute, that's not good at all.
Yeah.
So you spread the chart all the way out to 1910 by 2000 to 2012 or something like that. Changes the complexity of it in a major way.
Agree.
But it's crazy. It's good stuff though. What's Siffy saying there? His tickers.
Okay.
Oh, geez.
All right, let's throw these out there for Siffy. All right, social network tickers. FFN, LNKD, QPSA, RENN, SFLY, SINA, ZNGA, are all ready to get hammered. I wish I could say it like him.
/GRPN. Threw that one in too.
Yeah, /GRPN.
Why? Is the Facebook IPO?
Well, he's not giving us a reason. He says mahalo, guys. Mahalo.
This is like, maybe we should play his music. This is like Siffy's Corner without him actually being here.
Surfing with Siffikia.
Surfing with Siffikia.
I'm trying to see if he's giving us any further information on these here. It's kind of hard. He's typing to us. I'm trying to read it as he goes. Okay, this week at Stock Traders Talk Radio. Tomorrow night, Tuesday, another Stock Spotlight. Wednesday, Stock Spotlight. Thursday, CEO interview. Sunday, CEO interview. And next week is getting pretty full for us, so we're going to try and get as many as possible. We're going to try and schedule them so that we're going to get the tickers that are the hottest at the time on the radio.
I got 3 requests today.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I get requests every single day, and numerous ones, and it's kind of hard to appease everybody.
Right.
Obviously, we're not looking for a ticket that hasn't had volume in 2 months. I mean, that's not going to help the people listening or anybody else, really. So we're going to try and do our best to get those all scheduled when pertinent. Anything else I'm forgetting, guys? Anybody remember anything?
No, I think I love the Money Badger song, man. I love that.
Oh, yes. I meant to give him a shout-out to Money Badger. You find him on iHub. Follow him. He's been shooting us some great music to play for our intros and in between the shows. Okay. Well, that was a fun DD session tonight. QT, I'm a little disappointed. I must say. I brought you on the radio show to say, Cop, I disagree.
Oh, my goodness.
Not Cop, I agree 100% with you.
Look, with that kind of DD that he did tonight, I'd be a fool to say anything different right now. True. But, I mean, I don't know. You know what? There's always tomorrow.
That's right.
Always tomorrow.
Once I play back the show like 2 or 3 times, I could definitely probably, figure something to say tomorrow that may shake him up a bit.
Correct me all over the place. I didn't even say half the changes, the differences of changes of addresses and phone numbers and all that other stuff. It's very different, very interesting. But hey, the one guy in Georgia is a Yankees fan, though, Mike.
Oh, it's all good there.
Yeah.
Okay, so just a quick wrap up on tonight's Stock Spotlight. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 buys and 2 sells. We wish everybody out there, from all of us here on the radio, to all of you out there, the best of luck trading. Those that came on tonight listening for the ANTS Stock Spotlight, we wish you the best of luck tomorrow on that stock. Don't forget, our picks are strictly for tomorrow, and that's what we base it on. From all of us here to all of you out there, have a good night.
Thank you for listening to Stock Traders Talk Radio. All views and topics talked about on Stock Traders Talk Radio is solely for entertainment purposes. We are not professional financial advisors and always recommend you seek the advice of a professional financial advisor. Never invest in any stock featured on our show unless you can afford to lose your entire investment. The information contained on our show is based on sources which we believe to be reliable, but is not guaranteed by us as being accurate, and might not be a complete statement or summary of the available data. Stock Traders Talk Radio advises that the investments in companies profiled are commonly considered to be high risk, and use of the information provided is at the investor's sole risk. Thank you for listening to Stock Traders Talk Radio.